Hello and welcome to the Loresworn playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich as the German Empire. We are in March of 1938, and we've just had an ambassador assassinated.
It's getting risque in the Reich, y'all.
We're not too happy about that, but the Reichstag has spoken.
They voted. Deliberations went on a week.
Both in terms of number of votes and in terms of presenting a better argument. The overwhelming consensus in the comments seems to be we should execute the assassin, take the hit to political power, and not become the aggressor in the war until we have finished our full recovery from Black Monday and
Militarized a bit.
Remilitarized. Militarist revival gets rid of quenched militarism, which gives us our manpower back. So that's going to be important. So we'll execute him.
However, what this event has demonstrated to us is that war is probably inevitable. It won't start today, but it's probably inevitable. So we are going to spend 1938 and 1939 moving the country in that direction, preparing to take on our enemies, who are vivified by their hatred of us.
Yes.
This is going to be like World War I on steroids. However, it won't be quite like World War II because technology has gone down a bit of a different direction in this. But one of our primary purposes is we need to make sure we have a modern army, and we do not. We have a well-trained one, we have a large one, but we don't have what I would call a modern one. Our armor is lacking, our air force is lacking, our infantry equipment isn't very good. Our army is large, we have that Prussian militarism, we're ready to go, we're ready to fight. But it could be so much better, and we need to start moving in that direction.
Well, and we've just run into something, which is that we are currently using all of our domestic oil. So pretty soon we're either going to need to start trading for oil, or we're going to start having to build some.
I have a proposition for you.
Yeah.
As the military advisor of this, as what you would call the chairman of Germany's Joint Chiefs, I claim that role. I think. I'd click on it right there, man. Down there, lots of oil to your right. To your right. Look at that. Let's check out that country a little bit. They just had a civil war, as you recall, Romania.
Oh, right.
And I want to see what their diplomatic situation is. Iron Guard, Romania. Take a look.
Well,
I think the best way to prepare for a large war, and this is me being completely ruthless here.
Okay.
The best way to prepare for a large war is a small, easy one. They look isolated to me, they look weak to me, and they're about to nationalize their oil industry. I'm thinking something we might want to at least consider within the next 100 days is to get our army fighting fit and to get our oil situation well in hand by puppeting Romania. I'm talking full swift blitzkrieg, an invasion, a crushing victory. We render them a puppet state, solve our oil program, and give our units some what I think will be very handy veterancy in what I'd imagine is inevitably within the next 3 years a world war.
So we would be contending with the Belgrade Pact nations, which currently consists of Iron Guard, Romania.
They'd be foolish to fight us,
Serbia,
but we'll win.
Yeah, Montenegro.
But would we not have Austria?
Greece.
Like
we wouldn't have Austria because they're not great friends with us, but we would have the entire Middle Europe.
That's not a difference. Even if the Belgrade Pact is foolish enough to join the war, dude, that is not a war they can win if we have our allies join.
I'd say once we actually have some manpower to work with, that is probably.
I'm just saying. Let's put a 120 to 150 day timetable on it. That should give us enough time to finish full recovery, maybe get another focus down our military tree.
Yeah.
And update our equipment, dude, and then let's go at these guys. Let's get our oil situation taken care of, and let's flex our muscles a little bit.
I'm also wondering if we can get Galicia Ludmeria into our faction, because they're... Let's see, what did we changed to Social Democrats, so they're social conservatives, so they're
in the same political family,
same political branch, because that would be a great additional
improve our relationships with them.
Avenue. We can't really do that right now because it uses political power.
Okay.
But yeah, not as much leeway to do that as there is in EU4. But we can invade through the Ukraine because they're part of our faction. So regardless, we have
I'm just
highway.
saying, bud. It's March 1938.
By the way, I know that the developers watch this. Please change the color for one of these factions because they're impossible to tell apart. The
Yes.
Belgrade Pact and Middle Europa, they're both kind of a off black.
That would be my advice as chairman of your military
Okay.
council. By the end of 1938, let's go get that oil, son. I mean, Black Bush in here. Talk about that oil! Oh! Oil? What do you mean, oil? Bitch, you cooking? What?
Let's see.
Dave Chappelle was such a genius.
I wish it would show us how many men we need to fully reinforce our armies, because that's the only thing I'm really worried about right now. Oh yeah, and did we redirected these guys? Yeah, okay. So we redeployed
Them to our vulnerable front.
to our vulnerable
But
front. with the
I
the
still say
Netherlands.
again, a military adventure to puppet Romania and weaken, as in utterly defang the Belgrade Pact, could be a great thing. Now, my foreign policy advice to you from a military perspective: Russia is 6 months away from crushing the Soviets. Russia needs
By the
to
way,
be.
there they are. The Romanians have nationalized their oil fields. After Romania's defeat in the Weltkrieg, we were promised control over the rich oil fields of Ploiesti. The current dictator, Codreanu, I don't know why I'm trying to pronounce that the French way, taking advantage of the state of our economy, has just nationalized the oil fields with much fanfare, yet didn't dare stop the oil shipments, and also promised to compensate our oil companies. Opposing him at this point would likely frighten investors even more, potentially killing any chance of stopping our current economic crisis.
We'll be
yeah.
watching him close.
Yes, we will.
/ we are now secretly planning a war against
Yes.
him. Our diplomatic priority, from my military perspective, Russia needs to become our best buddy. We
Yeah.
need to improve relations with Austria, and Russia needs to become our best buddy. We need them to fight on our side.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
We need their manpower.
Ottoman Empire has declared war on Kurdistan. Oh, okay. So the Kurds rebelled. I didn't even actually know that was an event.
And they should lose this war. I see no reason to believe that they are any match for the Ottomans.
Well, what modifiers do the Ottomans currently have? That would determine. Okay, they don't
Really
have any national spirits. I'm kind of surprised they don't have like a sick man of Europe modifier.
Well, winning World War I would have done a lot to cure their ills, especially if the peace was punishing.
That's true.
I think Russia's about to... Okay.
Full recovery.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have recovered from Black Monday. We needed this.
So we reformed the economy, production efficiency cap plus 10%.
Which is incredible.
Fewer factories are taken up by consumer goods, factory output plus 10%, and we're about to get an event for our new economic policy. But in the meantime...
that Black Monday modifier that had
Yeah.
us in all sorts of uncomfortableness is gone.
We have won our place in the sun, but if we want to keep it, we must make sure our army is second to none. Let us invest in military research and expansion.
It's so time.
Oh, yeah.
France and syndicalist England are beating their chests just a little bit too hard for comfort.
Oh, by the way, IG Farben might help us get some more oil. Well, it just unlocks them, but I don't know what I'm not sure what they're going to do yet.
We need to be going down this military expansion tree for a while. That's just what needs to happen.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, we definitely need to get rid of quenched militarism.
Well, I don't know that we can do anything other than get bogged down in a long...
It'll take us twice as long to justify war goals.
We have no manpower because of it.
No manpower, and minus 20 division recovery rate.
Which is brutal.
Which means our troops will be okay at the beginning of the war, but they're going to have no stomach for a prolonged fight.
We need to get rid of that.
Yeah, dedefinitely.
Our economy...
I don't even want to fight Romania without getting rid of that. Popularity is rising. Excellent.
We'll do it. We need it.
I don't know. We're over 50%.
I would personally do it.
All right, let's just go for it.
Sultanate of Egypt comes to help the Kurds.
Okay, so that's what I was curious about. Are they in the Arab Axis? No, they're not.
But the Arab Axis might be looking to flex their muscles a little bit. This is a good way to do that.
High party popularity. There we go.
And our political... Exactly.
But we got a downfall in stability because we spent that 40 political power.
We'll get it back, though.
Yeah. So we're making a bunch per day.
Exactly.
So...
Our political power will rebound.
Yep.
The Kaiserreich.
Kaiserreich economic policy. 3 years after Black Monday, our economy is slowly recovering. This can be the time to invest more to further secure our natural interests. So we can invest in our Heimat.
Booming boost to national
unity. And Brandenburg, Saxony, and Danzig all get civilian factories. Invest in our colonies.
They get
Saigon, Casablanca, and Danzig.
And base national unity up 10%. That is not bad.
This is 15.
I know, but I'm saying it's not bad.
Sphere of influence. German investments in Lithuania and the United Baltic Duchy.
Like us more.
Civilian factories, yeah. And then announce new economic cooperation plan with our neighbors.
Interesting.
Kingdom of Sweden, the Batavian Commune, and Denmark.
And a big booming boost to Schleswig-Holstein.
Yeah, interesting.
What's our national unity? We should know what it is.
National unity, it's currently at 80%. When we get rid of low stability, it'll be at 90%.
So we don't need that.
Absolutely need it.
And Brandenburg, Saxony, and Danzig, I don't know that they need the buff. They're already our industrial heartland. Do we need to make them better? I'd almost say we don't. That's the one we need the least.
The advantage of having the factories there is that those are going to be the easiest to defend.
Truth. Here's the thing, though. Look at the North. The North isn't going to join a war against us. Sweden, Norway, Denmark. I don't think they'd be that foolish, right? Our northern provinces are safe if we can knock Holland out of any war quickly. Our northern provinces are totally safe. That bottom option makes the North even more unlikely to ever go to war against us, opens the possibility of an alliance in a little while, and beefs up our northern provinces even more than investing in the Heimat beefs up our center provinces.
Oh, I think this isn't all us, though. Holland gets a building slot, and they're currently in a faction against us.
Do they? I didn't see that.
Yeah, Sweden gets one, Denmark gets one.
I'm okay with that if they're our allies.
Yeah, so that's
I think that one is an interesting little play right there, and I'm leaning towards it. Mainly because I think Holstein is just as defensible as Brandenburg, is less of our industrial heartland. So basically this just expands our diversity across our country in terms of what's producing what. That'll turn Holstein into an economic power zone. Not to mention, again, it opens up the possibility of an alliance with those Scandinavian nations.
That's very compelling because this gets us a total of 4 factories. This gets us 3. It's only 1 fewer. The only reason I'm wary of this is because we're giving a factory to one of our current enemies.
A civilian factory, a single solitary civilian factory, do much for the Dutch?
Not necessarily.
I don't think it hurts.
All right, I think I'll take your advice on this.
We're short on allies, right? Yeah. We have a lukewarm
Iranian Empire declared war.
The Ottomans are actually in a bit of trouble with that one. That declaration of war is actually extremely significant. Do you want to know why? So now you've massively extended the Kurdish front. The Ottomans are officially in a 2-front war, and the Iranian Empire, as drawn on this map, would have a vast manpower reservoir. The Ottomans just got into what we'll call a situation.
Yeah.
The Ottomans are now officially in a situation.
They are. Oh man, and it looks like the American Union State is now mixing it up.
But for the first time now, the American Union State and the syndicalists are now actually finally fighting one another.
The Union State took Norfolk, which I believe was in syndicalist hands.
But the United States holds firm, considering the awkward position they started the war in.
The Ottomans declared war on Cyprus. Isn't Cyprus ours?
No.
Okay.
I don't know why the Ottomans keep adding parties to this war. I don't know if that's intelligent.
Yeah, well, I mean, look how well the Kurds are doing now that they have support from Iran.
I think we might have just witnessed the Ottomans sign their own death warrant.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that the Ottomans can win this war. Look at Egypt is making gains in the south. I don't know that the Ottomans can win this war, dude.
Yeah.
I think it was winnable before the Iranians. I don't know that it's winnable after the Iranians. And I know Cyprus is weak, but they just added Cyprus to the war for no reason. That's another front. You know what I mean? That's another front. If Cyprus fights them off, now you have to naval invade. You know what I mean?
Right. Let's see, do we have any industrial tech? We're a little ahead of time on that.
Weapons, bro.
We're definitely researching.
Your military advisor wants you to prepare his army for war.
Right.
I would need you to prioritize things in that tab.
Improved infantry equipment it is.
Here come the Egyptians, man.
Yeah.
The Ottomans are in trouble.
If they lose Damascus and they lose the port at Beirut, they're...
Yes.
Let's see. Military expansion completed.
All of our we just got 10% experience to all of our units.
Oh, new weapons. While German army has the greatest soldiers in the world, it must not lag behind in equipment. Even the greatest soldier will have a hard time defeating a better equipped enemy.
I completely agree with you. I wouldn't debate. That is the right one.
Yeah.
And
looks like the party popularity might actually end up paying off.
I think it is. Our political power situation is rapidly not becoming. All right, go further down it.
Prepared defenses.
You're damn straight. Now, some people might criticize me for saying I'm pushing to refight the old war. What I'm saying is we have United Commune of Brazil.
No,
so
that's not good.
Brazil has a communist uprising. F.
Please don't join the International. Okay, so they're radical socialists. So
I don't know that they're quite a good fit for the
I don't know if the syndicalists
International.
will
look at the United States pushing back.
Well, U.S. still has strategic depth. We can't discount that.
Not to mention, you can't discount that now the other two sides are in conflict. They're now using manpower and equipment up on each other.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
Yep. Thuringia, yeah, that's as good a place
and
as
now Holstein has become quite the little economic center with 2 civilian factories added and a civilian building slot.
Not going to complain about that.
Damascus is about to fall. Yep, and Cyprus took the entirety of their island. Did you see? Cyprus has booted the Ottomans.
Pushed the Ottomans off.
The Ottomans are in trouble, bro. I think this is it for them. Which, considering we took that gamble to radically lower their opinion of us, I'm actually not too terribly pissed off that they're about to become a non-factor. All right.
You should probably...
Dude, we're preparing for war, man.
Probably go for decryption first. Yeah.
But we're not gonna go to war before we have both anyway.
Yeah.
I'm saying you should aim for war with Romania probably in the probably quarter one of 1939.
War in South Africa. The former British Dominion has descended into chaos. The pro-British provinces of the Cape and Natal, as well as Rhodesia, battle with the Afrikaner-dominated Orange Free State and Transvaal. So the Boers are making another play for it. For control of the country was being called the Fourth Boer War. Should we send aid to the pro-German Afrikaner nationalists? Yes. Absolutely.
It doesn't hurt us. I mean, they allow us to send aid even though our manpower is 0. Send aid. That might be a glitch.
Afrikanisch Republic. Ireland asks for help. The Irish have asked for our support in the face of socialist violation of their neutrality. This gives us an opportunity to recover a part of our sphere of influence and undermine the socialist activities in the region. So we can proclaim them part of our faction, announce our support, or we're not ready for such
I'd proclaim them part of our faction. Like, that makes it likely that Ireland will draw us into war, but as long as that is not immediate, dude, we're going to be ready for it.
Yeah.
Union of Britain declared war on Ireland.
They declared war on Ireland. War of the Atlantic, Canadian intervention. What started out as a mere incident caused by a show of force by the British Socialist Navy has now devolved into an outright war across the Atlantic. The Union of Britain has declared its goal of spreading syndicalism to the nearby state of Ireland, which prompted an intervention by the exiled British Royalist government in Canada. The Entente is going to war with the Socialists. The navies and air forces of both belligerents are already being mobilized, and the first shots have already been fired in the Irish Sea. Experts believe that the intensity of this conflict will be limited due to the large bodies of water separating the belligerents, but it has nevertheless raised world tensions to new heights.
We're not at war yet, but now we need to amp up our militarization.
Yeah.
Like, this is, as far as I'm concerned, the shot across the bow of the Second Great War.
We've got 2 more focuses to get militarist revival.
Yes. Do we stand with them?
Armed forces of the Union of Britain have launched an invasion of Ireland. According to the treaty we've signed with Ireland, we're obliged to aid them in their struggle. Shall we warn the British about the foolishness of their actions? So, Germans send an ultimatum. back down, we've changed our minds.
We're a little more ready for this than we were when the assassination happened.
I think we should not try to appease them.
I think that here's my stance.
Okay.
We had shoddy evidence and shoddy reasoning with the assassin. To be blunt, especially after 1914, that was a foolish reason to go to war. And our unofficial Reichstag in the comments, they were dead right. That was at the beginning of the year. That was in March. We're now in September. This is an overt show. Britain is firing shots at an ally. They are stirring world tensions. Any less than an ultimatum is appeasement. Now, one instance of I don't consider executing the assassin an instance of appeasement. One instance of appeasement is not dishonorable, especially if it comes with the conclusion that we're only buying 6 more months. You know, that we're going at these MOEFers in April of, 1939.
Yeah.
I also am more than okay with issuing this ultimatum. In a matter of days, we get new weapons. Black Monday is over. Our economy is booming. The Scandinavian countries just received a plus 25 opinion of us. The Soviets are going down. The Ottomans, who despise us, are currently going down. The United States, at least we know, for the next year or two, is an utter non-factor. There's no chance of any country from across the pond joining this conflict. They are momentarily disabled by civil war.
The Carlists are still holding Madrid.
I'm just saying, would we be in better shape in April of 1939? Yes. Are we in better shape than we were in March of 1938? We are. Much better. So I don't think that joining the war, that issuing an ultimatum now, is the disaster it would have been.
Okay.
The ultimatum may make them back down. Probably a very low chance of that happening, but a chance.
Yeah.
I genuinely think it's a 50-50 call, and I don't think that there's a wrong answer. Because once again, I think in April or May of 39, we're ready to blitzkrieg some fools. We're not really ready to do that now, but as opposed to March, I think we are ready to beat them now. We haven't gotten rid of our quenched militarism modifier, but we have gotten rid of our economic issues, and we have spent several months with our new strengthened economy. We've seen gains across the sector. The Royal Navy will be partially occupied by a war with Ireland across the sea, and if we can get the Scandinavians into this, we're ready. So I think you can flip a coin, man.
I think we should stand with Ireland.
I think we should. I think that's the right call.
Let's see what happens.
Positive political power, too.
Yeah.
And we have all of our forces.
Berlin warns London. Germany has come to our aid. They've sent an ultimatum to the Union of Britain. They will either fall back to their home islands or risk annihilation.
They signed a white peace. We made them back down.
That's right, bitches.
We made them back down.
We made them back down.
Do you have any idea what a huge diplomatic victory on the world stage that is?
Man.
That realistically merits that we're now back in positive political power.
We are.
We just got forehead to forehead with the British, nose to nose, said, you want to go? And they emphatically said no. That is huge. Now we probably have until May of 1939.
That was.
And you know what sucks for them? Do you know what sucks for them?
Yeah.
That was their last chance.
Yeah.
That is the last time in space where the Internationale could conceivably have been ready to defeat us. Now 6 months is going to go by, and we are going to be fully militarized. Ireland now owes us its existence. It's part of Mittel Europa.
They're actually still in the Entente faction, but I think we can invite them later with this, this treaty focus.
So, keep going.
Contracts with Mauser. By sponsoring the Mauser Corporation, we can increase and improve our small arms production.
Adds a military factory in Malmedy. I dig it.
And we can unlock the Mauser Werke company.
Do it. We're 2 focuses away from getting rid of quenched militarism. The thing that sucks is the Internationale probably should have shoved all their chips in. They should have gone all in. Because with 2 or 3 more military focuses, we're going to be ready to put the beat down on them.
And then we can go down this path, which will get rid of Victors of the Weltkrieg, which is what's making our doctrine research take forever.
And we're about ready to start pursuing alliances with Russia and with the Scandinavians. And I argue, dude, that the United States is still at least a year away from being able to even think about wars
Yeah.
in Europe and where it wants to come down.
Here's what the whites are doing wrong in Russia right now. They keep trying to blitz for Petrograd across this major river and getting cut off and surrounded and losing troops. What they need to do is they need to open up a wider front. Probably take Novgorod first.
If they
and
take
then
Novgorod
push north.
and Petrograd, the war is over.
Yeah.
I mean, the Soviets' ability to mount a resistance would crumble.